Hi, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of the 12 epic bourbons of Christmas. And Raj and I were just saying we hope everybody's Christmas gifts were what you were looking for, and we hope you had a wonderful time with friends and family. And we have another great bourbon for you today, and it's a Blanton's. And Blanton's is important to the two of us because everyone who knows us knows that we're big fans of Buffalo Trace and the people at Buffalo Trace. So we are going to talk about a very special Blanton's. And Raj, tell me where you found that one. And I think you call it your triple winner.
Yeah, I call it my triple winner because a few things. One is it's a Derby bottle, so it's a very beautiful bottle. And secondly, I think Donnie said this was the first gold edition.
It's actually the first Derby bottle
Okay.
that they did in a presentation like that. But it is an amazing bottle. And for those of you who don't realize it, Blanton's didn't always put letters on the toppers, and there's no letters on this one.
Absolutely. So the letters, this was bottled in '99, and the letters started at Christmas of '99, and it was a great hit. And so since that time, Buffalo Trace has been putting the letters on it. But that's why again I call it triple, because no letter. It's a gold edition and it's a Derby edition. When you put it all together, I think it's a triple winner. For those of my Derby friends out there.
It's a very, very great part of your collection. Very interesting. And for those of you who, Blanton's is very popular, so we won't beat it to death. But remember that Blanton's always comes out of Warehouse H at Buffalo Trace, and Warehouse H happens to be the only warehouse there that has steel cladding on the outside. So the temperature ranges of Warehouse H can be much different than the other traditional brick warehouses. So that is the claim to fame to Blanton's, and it's going to be interesting to see how this gold edition tastes.
I was very careful because yesterday we had the cork that broke. So luckily this one we have a intact cork. While Don's trying to look at the nose of that bourbon and give you a taste, I'll tell you a little bit of background. So a while back I was doing some research and I found out that a Japanese company actually owned the patents for the topper and the bottle shape. And that got me intrigued because I thought, Blanton's was a Buffalo Trace product. It is clearly made at Buffalo Trace. But what I found out was that whole mash bill number 2 is owned by this Japanese company, and there's a history behind it. Originally, a couple executives from Fleshman, a lot of you know Fleshman through the yeast, and Fleshman used to make bourbon back in the day, and so here's a bottle of Fleshman's bourbon, and they wanted to get out of the business, so the two gentlemen went to a distillery down in Frankfort, Kentucky, buys the distillery, and forms a company called Ancient Age. And maybe you can enlighten us a little bit more on the Ancient Age.
Well, we're going to talk about, we have a very unique Ancient Age that we're going to feature a little bit later in this series. But for those of you who don't know, Buffalo Trace had a very unique historical significance. It was called E.H. Taylor, it was called George Stagg, it was called the Ancient Age Distillery. It was called the Leestown Distillery. It has a large provenance, and basically the Ancient Age International people work very closely with Buffalo Trace to produce these various products. And Ancient Age has been around since the 30s. It has a long history, and it all ties together. And quite frankly, most people aren't aware that there is a Japanese ownership correlation to Blanton's, but it's a Buffalo Trace product.
Yes, clearly. Mash bill 2, Warehouse H, I think, and you can see right on the bottle it talks about Warehouse H. I think H produces some great bourbon. This actually is a great bourbon. I haven't tasted a gold Blanton in a long time. The gold is different than the regular Blantons. I think it's a little spicier.
It is, and I'd really like to find out what the significance is, whether they take them from different levels of the rick house to produce the gold. I'd really like to find out more.
Yeah.
And one thing, just one of the questions I get asked on my blog very often is, I can't find all the Blanton's letters. I'm collecting all the horses and I can't find them all. Contrary to urban myth, they're all made in the same quantities. They don't make more O's or more N's or more T's, and so keep looking, you'll get to them all. But, you know, Colonel Blanton worked at Buffalo Trace for 55 years, and he started when he was 16, became president of the company later on. His contributions to bourbon were fantastic, and this, don't forget, in '84, this was the first single barrel release ever made in the bourbon world.
And he was actually released by Elmer Tilly, who was a protege of Blanton's. And I think Elmer produced a great bourbon, changed the whole batch processing or batch product to a single barrel. And today we see a number of single barrels that are out there. But again, this is another great whiskey,
Right.
bourbon.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you really enjoyed day 2 of 12 epic bourbons, and tune in tomorrow for another great experience.
Enjoy your
Raj.
holidays. Cheers.
Thank you.